Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you very much to the entire panel for being here today. When it comes down to our end of the dais, I apologize if some of the questions have been asked for. I did have to step out and take a call, so if I'm repetitive in my questions, I apologize. But again, thank you very much for being here. I'll start with both you, Mr. Newton and Sheriff. My staff recently toured a facility where FirstNet portable cell towers and other network assets are stored and maintained in Texas. Can you speak to whether your agencies have used portable cell towers during emergency response or disaster planning, and how they help enhance and address communications during these events? Mr. Newton, if you'd like to start.
As a matter of fact, my organization owns one. We've deployed it 2 days ago, and it's in practice. It's in use right now during a search in a particularly rural area where we have a large temporary concentration of a lot of public safety. So we absolutely see the value in it, and whether it's an emergency or disaster.
Great, thank you. Sheriff?
The answer for me is also yes. We've mentioned a lot of looking at a cell tower as being critical infrastructure, and when they go down, whether it's vandalism, man-made, or natural disaster, these portable units we can bring in and still can continue to communicate. And then also, when you talk about density of communication, putting those at our command centers that allows that traffic to be leveled out is really critical to things going on and things that we're responding to almost daily.
Great, thank you very much. Dr. Fontes, how critical is a strong broadband connection to utilizing the fullest extent of next generation 911 systems?
Well, unfortunately, next generation 911 systems don't exist nationwide. There are states that are in various stages of deployment of next generation 911 systems. Many have deployed what we call ESI nets, or emergency service internet protocol networks, that allow for the movement of information. But next generation 911 is so much more than that. Therefore, the information coming in from the public or sensors or anything that would come into 911 is in large part, if there's any data or information associated with that, would be dummied down in large part for voice communication. Now, there are situations where some centers are capable of receiving data that would enable our field responders to respond more effectively. It is imperative that we have next generation 911 deployed so that the broadband capability from the consumer, the person dialing 911, goes to a broadband next generation 911 system into an IP-based broadband public safety communications network. We have to make sure that all the links in the full chain of command of public safety are current in technology. Thank you.
Right, thank you very much. And my final question, I'll go back to you, Sheriff. My district is home to both large urban area and rural communities. You noted in your testimony that smaller agencies often rely on larger counties for emergency communication infrastructure. What federal steps would help ensure that next generation 911 deployment doesn't leave behind rural areas?
So it's twofold. Obviously, we've talked about funding the majority of the morning, but also having federal level cybersecurity audits and practices that are really DoD level in my mind to be able to protect those small agencies that can't afford it. In other words, if they're riding on a sheriff's backbone in some of those agencies, that we make sure that backbone is continually secured to the latest and greatest standards.
Great. Thank you all again. That's the end of my questioning. Mr. Chairman, thank you very much. I appreciate the time. I yield back.